Hi everyone, it's Lou Sims. I'm here today to show you an idea using the Dolce Verdicchio Gift Box die sets from Tonic Studios. Now, in the actual die set for the Dolce Verdicchio, you get 11 dies, but I'm actually going to be only using the main outside die and the two inside panels that go inside there and there, as you can see, and also a small tag die. So they're going to be the basis for my design today. The other thing I am going to be using will be the base, and the base comes from the Dolce bases and tags set. Okay, so this is one die set and this belongs to another die set. So I've gone ahead and prepped some of my designs, but I do still need to do one or two other bits. So I'm just going to put these to one side for the moment. Now, what I have done is I've taken a piece of Craft Perfect card and I've created my own backing paper using my alcohol markers. So I've taken the darkest colour and I've just drawn a line. The next colour up, which was the Stonehenge, and then finally I've gone over with a lighter colour, and I've just done it to create a mock stone effect to go with my design. So I still need to die cut a few pieces, so I'm going to get them ready and then we can look at how we're going to put everything together. Right, all the die cutting's done. So what I've done is I've cut 6 side panels because I'm going to be using the hexagon base. I've got 2 undecorated and there's my other 4. I've die cut my panels, which will go on here like so. You can see. And then I've die cut what should be a tag die to hold things in place, but it forms a different embellishment. And then what I've done is I've cut out another set of my faux rocks to create all my pieces. So I haven't used all the other layers within the die set. I've kept to a very small amount of the dies because I wanted to show that there are other ways of using it. You don't always have to use the decorative layers. So I'm going to stick these bits down and then I'll come back and show you where we need to stick all the red liner tape. Right, that's all my panels now decorated, and all I've done is add a little bit of white pen to make it look like there's an opening, a window there. Now on the panels we've got all the score lines when you cut it ready for you. So if we just go through all the different score lines, I prefer to bend them both ways, back and forward, so I know that they're a perfect crease. And if you really wish, get your bone folder out and burnish all the edges. So that's all my parts folded and all the creases sorted out. So I'm just going to add some red liner tape. Now it's up to you whether you do use red liner tape or you prefer to use wet glue. That is total personal preference. I'm going to use red liner tape just for the sides and base. So I've put some red liner tape on this side here and the bottom base here. And when we come to join them together, that side's going to sit on top, but we also need to make sure this side sits on top of there. Now, as I said, that is personal preference whether you use wet glue or red liner tape. I'm going to use wet glue to join mine, but in the moment what I'm going to do is just go away and get all the red liner, excuse me, just going to go away and get all the red liner tape on, and I'll be back. Right, I've got all my bits together and I've stuck to, you know, all my red liner tape on. So I'm going to make a start joining the sides together and then gradually adding the base on as well. So I'm going to line up the sides, and you can see the bottom crease line and the top crease lines, so you can get your alignment spot on with the sides. And I just like to do an extra fold that way just to make sure they're in. And I'm going to carry on building up my sides bit by bit by bit. So I'm going to carry on doing that, and I'll come back with all the sides joined together. Right, I've got all the sides done. Now this is where it's personal preference whether you do the base or you do the top first. It's totally up to you. I'm going to do the top first because I'm going to use wet glue, and it gives it a chance for it to, you know, really bond and really stay in place before I start doing the base. Right, I've got all the top bits stuck in place, and as you can see, you've got the holes there, and the idea is you can gather them together, put ribbons, put whatever you want on there to, you know, to keep the, you know, the box or the box lid in place. For my design, I actually want to turn them inwards, so I'm just going to, now that they're glued together, just gently fold the crease back in on itself. Now there's going to be lots of different ways to use this box, not just the way I'm showing. So now when I have got all my sides in, I can actually see all the stone parts all lined up near each other. It'll come together a little bit better once I've stuck everything else down in place. I'm going to start sticking the base on, and then I'll join the sides and the last part and this together. I'm just going to now, so I've just put another base in there, everything's glued up, hit this side, and I'm just going to glue this bit here as I did the other panels. And I'm just going to hold it for a little while. Right, everything is dry and now in place, and as you can see, I've just made like a little turret tower. That's the idea in my head. So what I plan next is I'm going to pull all these bits in together like that, and I will thread some, I think I'm going to probably go for a twine to keep up with the theme, but I've just got like a skewer, and what I want to do is I will put a little bit of blue tack on the bottom there. I want to put a skewer in, make myself a little pennant, and maybe with a happy birthday on there, and add some bunting around here. So I'm going to go away and join those together and get all the other bits of decoration I need. Right, as you can see, I've added my bunting, and they're from an old Tonic die set, the little bunting. And what I've done is I've added some twine to the top here and threaded it through, and I've decorated my my skewer, and I've used a bunting die, the same bunting set that came out with Tonic, oh, must be 3-4 years ago now. And I've just put a little bit of blue tack there on them at the moment, just to keep it in place. So that's going to go in the centre there. And I'm just going to tie these up. So I'm just going to have the light on its side. I'm doing a double knot, but I'm doing a loose double knot, so you can undo it or you cut it away. And then I've layered up my sentiment, which comes in the bases and tag set, and I'm just going to add that so it dangles down. Mind you, if I'd cut, you know, my twine exactly the same. There we go. And what I just want to do is I just want to do another loose knot to hold the tag in place, so it's dangling down, as you can see, like that. So it dangles down. Now I cut myself some extra twine because I didn't know whether I wanted to, you know, add a little bit of twine on or not, or just leave it, or thread some through the holes here. So I'm at that extra faffing stage, but so I'm going to leave it there with you guys because you don't need to see me faff, trust me. But what I did really want to do was show you a different ways to use the Dolce Verdicchio die set, and, you know, create a rather cool turret. One thing I do wish I had done before I go is I really wish I'd, you know, taken a knife and cut a little opening in the window there and put one of the Tonic people that came from the die set hanging out, a bit like a Rapunzel scene, or, you know, a knight hanging out from the window, because I think that would have actually, you know, been a really cool extra finishing touch. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Can't wait to see, you know, your spin, your interpretation on the dies. Take care, everyone, and hope to see you all soon.